r/AskReddit. What fact sounds fake at first, but is actually real? The guy who sang Peanut Butter Jelly Time died in a police shootout. Also, his brother-in-law was there trying to talk him out of shooting himself. You know who that stepbrother was? Snoop Dogg. This is some Albert Einstein copypasta level shit, but it's completely real. I can't believe this is true. I just looked it up, and it's 100% legit. Ancient sailors believed that cats were magic and would often risk their own lives, even in an every man for himself situation, to save a cat from a sinking ship. All ships had at least one ship's cat, as cats would eat the rats that have always plagued ships. The ship's cat would often be given a rank, and sailors would generally take excessively good care of their cats. So business as usual. The reason the world is ending is probably because someone forgot to feed his cat once last year. So that's how those damn animals got so cocky. Don't forget what the Egyptians did. Orcas are a natural predator to moose. Explain please. Moose swim between islands, or from land to islands, and orcas annihilate them from below. I too would like to be annihilated from below. Okay, so I absolutely love this fact. What happens is moose will dive into the water to eat certain vegetation, however orcas also inhabit the same waters, so I guess sometimes they end up as an orcas lunch instead. I've seen a funny comic about it on Tumblr, but I'll admit I'm not sure if anyone's seen an orca eat a moose. There isn't a single bridge across the Amazon River. I'm so glad all those bridges across the Amazon River found love. God damn it. A bridge could be built. The main reason none exist though is cause the river is surrounded by rainforest on both sides for most of its length, and there isn't a need for one. Netflix was founded before Google. It originally didn't use the net. It did for selecting videos, but not streaming. That's correct. You maintained the queue on the website and they mailed you things as they became available. You paid a monthly subscription fee that was tiered, based on how many movies you wanted out at a time. At the time it seemed daft. There was a culture of going to the store and renting the movie on the night you wanted to watch it, and returning it the next day so wouldn't owe extra fees. Who would want to pick a movie and wait 3 days? The model eventually won people over, though. Reasonable monthly fee, no feeling rushed because of late charges, always a couple things you want to see lying around waiting for you. It was actually a pretty great experience. They rightfully get a lot of credit for the streaming stuff, but people don't realize they actually revolutionized home video twice. One 10-inch pizza is more pizza than two 7-inch pizzas. It's amazing the difference just a couple of inches can make, oh yeah. That's just the tip of the iceberg. My wife assures me it's not really so much about the length of the pizzas, but more so the width. As well as how you use the pizza. It's the motion in the ocean, not the size of the boat. When compasses were first used on ships, sailors were afraid of them because they thought it had evil powers. Compasses were stored in boxes called a binnacle. I mean, that's like the first form of EM navigation. I'd be spooked too if a little piece of metal inexplicably pointed me to something. We are used to many generations of over-the-air networking, 802.11g, 4G, and people are still spooked by 5G. A compass should be hella scary back then. Yo, we dropped from 802g to 4G. No wonder people keep burning 5G towers. I'm pissed now too. Jack the Ripper was still active when Nintendo was founded. But they were just a card company then, correct? Yeah, specifically a form of picture card in Japan called Hanafuda cards, made because card-based gambling was illegal. A typical cumulus cloud actually weighs 1.1 million pounds, 500,000 kilograms. That's a lot of cumulus. Just imagine how much the blue ones must weigh. President Coolidge got sent a raccoon for Thanksgiving one year, but instead of eating it, he granted it a pardon because it was cute. Was he supposed to eat it? Was that a thing? To answer your question, yes, it was meant to be eaten. It wasn't that long ago that people ate what they could shoot. Things like raccoon and opossum wound up being seen as regional specialties. The day Michael Jackson's hair caught on fire was the exact middle of his life, to the day. How and why would anyone even come across that? I imagine it went something like this. He would be X years old when his hair caught on fire. He was about double that number of years old when he died. I wonder how close to the middle it was. Talk about a midlife crisis. I'll see myself out. It takes 2 years for a pineapple to grow. Have a pineapple plant in my yard. Can confirm. It's now year 4, and it's about to bear second fruit. And you only get one pineapple. Pineapples are similar to bananas, in that they normally produce fruit once. Pick a banana bunch, then chop the tree down. Pick the pineapple, remove the plant, then remove the pineapple top and plant that. Have grown many bananas and pineapples. This makes me irrationally angry. I grew one for over a year one time and a ducking rabbit ate it. The entire state of Wyoming only has 2 escalators. Wyoming? Never heard of them. I live in Wyoming and I've never seen either of them. Sets. 2 sets of escalators. They're in 2 different banks in the same city. The founders of Adidas, Adi Dassler, and Puma, Rudolf Dassler, are brothers. And their headquarters are literally next door to each other in Germany. Adidas is short for Adi Dassler, the founder of the company. Lyrebird's imitations will seriously sound exactly like the thing they are trying to imitate. If they imitate a chainsaw, you will think it's a chainsaw. It sounds like a perfect recording. I like it when they imitate the laser gun sound effects. Further evidence that birds aren't real. Every Canadian is allowed to get a free Canadian flag from the government. However, if you ordered a flag today you would get it in about 110 years. It used to be only a couple years until recently. Until the fact got out wide and far and everyone signed up for it. And it's the flag raised at the top of Parliament. Replaced daily. Okay. That made no sense till you explained that there was only one per day available. In a room of just 23 people there's a 50 to 50 chance of at least 2 people having the same birthday. Dinosaurs never ate grass because it didn't exist yet. Sharks evolved before grass did. So that's why sharks don't eat grass. During World War II, the Polish army had a brown bear in their ranks. The bear was really helpful to the force, particularly for carrying heavy artillery. After the war he lived his retirement at the Edinburgh Zoo and has his own life-size statue in the Prince's Street Gardens. The bear was on the payroll of the Polish army as well. The Ethiopian calendar is 7 years behind the rest of the world. Yeah guys, it's still 2013 there. Someone should really warn them about this coronavirus so they have 7 years to prepare. Or they should warn the world as they are having it 7 years earlier. You can fit all the planets in our solar system touching end to end between Earth and the Moon. I just did the math checking all diameters to distance only leaves 277 miles of wiggle room. There are more people on Earth than rats. I mean, honestly, how many people can you fit on a rat? Stop signs used to be yellow. In 1922, the American Association of State Highway Officials met to determine a standard design for stop signs, and that's where they decided on the color, yellow, because they thought that would grab drivers' attention. They'd also considered red, but there was no dye available at the time that wouldn't eventually fade. By 1954, sign makers had access to fade-resistant porcelain enamel and could finally start making stop signs the red color recognized today. The yearly risk in the US of dying from a shark bite is around 1 in 250 million, and the yearly risk of dying from a vending machine accident is roughly 1 in 112 million. Therefore, vending machines are about twice as deadly as sharks. That's why I never swim in vending machine infested waters.